Discover the treasures hiding in plain sight. These coins are not only rare, but also carry values that can absolutely blow your mind. Whether you're a collector or just stumbled upon these coins, stay till the end to uncover the massive value they hold. Let's dive into the top most rare coins that could make you rich. The Washington quarter of 1965 marks a pivotal point in the history of U.S. coinage. Known as the first year of the copper-nickel-clad composition, the coin represented a dramatic shift in materials to address economic pressures. While the transition removed silver content, it also inadvertently led to the creation of fascinating error coins. These rare errors have become highly desirable among collectors for their uniqueness and historical significance. This comprehensive guide explores the origins, design, production, error types, and current value of the rare 1965 Washington quarter, with a particular focus on its error coins. The 1965 Washington quarter was the first of its kind to be made without silver. The Coinage Act of 1965 eliminated silver content from dimes and quarters to counteract hoarding and a rising silver market. Instead, the U.S. Mint adopted a copper-nickel-clad composition with a pure copper core. This change made 1965 quarters an integral part of U.S. monetary history. The 1965 quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark to indicate their origin. To meet demand during the transition, the U.S. Mint suspended the use of mint marks entirely for coins minted between 1965 and 1967. As a result, distinguishing mint locations is impossible for these years, making standard coins very common. However, rare error coins from this year offer significant value to collectors. Errors in 1965 Washington quarters resulted from the challenges of transitioning to clad coinage. These rare mistakes have become some of the most sought-after pieces for collectors. 1965 silver quarter error, despite the official transition to clad coinage. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver plankets from 1964. These are among the rarest 1965 errors. Auction records have seen examples sell for $5,000, $10,000, with exceptional specimens exceeding $15,000. Transitional errors occur when a coin is struck using materials or designs intended for a different year. Transitional errors can range from $2,000 to over $7,000, depending on condition and verification. A double die obverse error results from a misalignment during the die creation process, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. Major doubling, $500, $1,000, or more. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin blank is not properly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design being cut off. A clipped planchette happens when a blank is improperly punched, leaving part of the coin's edge missing. Search bank rolls and circulated coinage for possible errors. Explore reputable auction sites like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. The 1966 Washington quarter is a significant coin in U.S. numismatic history. This year, like 1965 and 1967, reflects the ongoing challenges and transitions in the U.S. Mint's coinage practices. Though standard 1966 Washington quarters are common, error coins from this year stand out as rare treasures for collectors. These errors range from minor flaws to major striking anomalies, making them both historically intriguing and highly valuable. This comprehensive guide delves into the design, historical context, notable errors, and values associated with the rare 1966 Washington quarter errors. The Coinage Act of 1965, signed into law to address a national coin shortage and rising silver prices, introduced the copper-nickel-clad composition for dimes and quarters. By 1966, the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned to this new material. This quarter, like its 1965 predecessor, was composed of a copper core sandwiched between two layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. From 1965 to 1967, mint marks were omitted to discourage hoarding. As a result, all 1966 quarters lack mint marks, and it is impossible to distinguish coins struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. However, error coins represent a fraction of this number, significantly increasing their value to collectors. These errors occur when one or both outer layers of the copper-nickel clad are missing, exposing a copper core. Key characteristics. A reddish or brownish appearance on one or both sides, missing clad layer, $1,000 to $1,500, silver planchet errors. A small number of 1966 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver plankets from pre-1965 coinage, uncirculated, $10,000 plus. A double die obverse error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, creating a doubling effect on certain design elements. Major doubling, $1,000 plus. Off-center strikes occur when a coin blank planchet is not properly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design being missing. 50% off-center, $500, $1,000 plus. Error coins must be authenticated and graded by trusted third-party services like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Grading not only confirms the authenticity of an error, but also provides a standard for its condition and value. Rarity of the error. More dramatic and noticeable errors fetch higher prices. Condition of the coin. Mint state examples command premium values. Market demand. Error coins are particularly popular in the numismatic market, influencing their value. The Washington quarter is one of the most enduring and widely collected coins in United States history. Minted since 1932, this coin series has seen numerous changes in its composition and design, along with a fascinating array of minting errors. Among these, the 1967 Washington quarter stands out as a particularly intriguing year for error enthusiasts. The combination of minting errors, historical context, and unique anomalies has elevated certain 1967 error quarters to prize status in the numismatic world. In this article, we will dive deep into the history of the 1967 Washington quarter, examine its most notable errors, and explore the values these rare pieces command in the current coin market. The late 1960s was a period of significant change for US coinage. Following the Coinage Act of 1965, the US Mint shifted from producing coins with silver content to using copper-nickel clad compositions for dimes and quarters. The change was driven by the increasing demand for coins and the rising value of silver, which made it unsustainable to use precious metals for everyday currency. The transition to copper-nickel clad material did not affect the coin's overall design, but did impact its appearance and durability. Errors during the minting process in 1967 often resulted in striking anomalies that are now valuable collector items. Error coins are typically the result of mistakes during the minting process, ranging from minor irregularities to dramatic flaws. Some of the most notable error types associated with the 1967 Washington quarter include double die error, off-center strike, missing clad layer, broad strikes, die breaks, cuts and cracks, transitional errors. Transitional errors are exceptionally rare and occur when coins are struck on plankets intended for another year or denomination. Transitional errors, $7,000 to $15,000, professional grading and authentication are essential for determining the value of a 1967 error quarter. Reputable grading organizations like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation provide certification that enhances a coin's credibility and market value. Type of error. More dramatic errors command higher premiums. Condition. Coins in uncirculated condition are significantly more valuable. Rarity. The scarcity of the error type influences demand and price. Inspect carefully. Use a magnifier to detect subtle errors like doubling or strike-throughs. Search coin rolls. Error coins can sometimes be found in bank rolls or circulation. Buy certified coins. Ensure authenticity by purchasing graded examples from reputable dealers. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since its debut in 1932. By the late 1960s, the series experienced a major shift with the transition to copper-nickel clad compositions, a change necessitated by the Coinage Act of 1965. Among quarters minted in 1968, error coins have captured the fascination of collectors for their rarity and insight into the minting process. These unique coins tell a compelling story of production challenges, making them valuable to numismatists and investors alike. In this article, we delve into the history of the 1968 Washington quarter, its errors, and their values in detail. One of the most notable aspects of 1968 coinage was the return of mint marks, which had been suspended from 1965 to 1967 to deter hoarding during the coin shortage. In 1968, mint marks reappeared, and quarters were struck at 3 U.S. mints. By 1968, the Washington quarter was fully transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition, replacing the previous 90% silver alloy. The coin's core consisted of pure copper, while its outer layers were a blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The doubled die obverse error occurs when a die is improperly hubbed, creating doubled elements on the coin. Double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchet errors, die cracks and cuds, missing clad layer, wrong planchet errors. The value of a 1968 Washington quarter depends on the error type, rarity, and the coin's condition. Below is an estimated value range for notable errors, according to the NGC Price Guide, as of November 2024. A Washington quarter from 1968 in circulated condition is worth between $1.30 and $1.85. However, on the open market, 1969 day quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $3,700. For error coins, professional grading is essential to confirm authenticity and determine value. Reputable grading services like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation provide these assurances. Rarity. Errors with fewer known examples command higher prices. Condition. Uncirculated coins or coins in higher grades are significantly more valuable. Market demand. Popular error types are more sought after and can fetch premium prices. Coin rolls and circulation. Searching rolls of quarters or circulated coins is an inexpensive way to discover errors. Auctions. Specialized coin auctions, such as those hosted by Heritage Auctions, frequently feature error coins. Dealers and shows. Coin dealers and shows offer access to certified error coins. Invest in magnification tools. A good loupe or magnifier is essential for spotting doubling or fine errors. Focus on certification. Always prefer certified coins to avoid counterfeits. Network with collectors. Join numismatic forums or clubs to stay informed about market trends and new discoveries. The Washington quarter is one of the most widely recognized coins in American history, boasting a storied past and enduring popularity among collectors. While the standard 1969 Washington quarter holds intrinsic value as part of the series, it's the rare error varieties from this year that captivate collectors. These error coins represent minting anomalies that occurred during production, creating unique and highly sought-after collectibles. This detailed exploration covers the history, notable error varieties, and current market values of the rare 1969 era Washington quarters, offering a comprehensive look into these fascinating coins. The late 1960s marked a period of stabilization in the U.S. mints operations following the Coinage Act of 1965. This legislation transitioned dimes, quarters, and half dollars from 90% silver to copper-nickel-clad compositions to address a national coin shortage exacerbated by silver hoarding. By 1969, the U.S. Mint had fully adapted to the production of clad coins, but occasional errors still slip through quality control. Error coins from 1969 encompass a variety of anomalies, ranging from subtle doubling to significant production flaws. These errors add to the coin's rarity and value, making them prized additions to any collection. Pronounced doubling, $1,500 to $3,000, 50% or more off-center, $800 to $2,000, both sides missing, $2,000 to $4,000, transitional errors, $5,000, $20,000. Depending on rarity and condition, error coins are often difficult to authenticate without professional grading. Certification from reputable organizations like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation enhances a coin's market value and ensures its authenticity. Key factors in grading. Condition. Higher grade coins are significantly more valuable. Type of error, rare, and dramatic errors command premium prices. Market demand. Popular error types are more sought after. The 1969 Washington quarter represents a fascinating chapter in U.S. numismatics, with error varieties offering a blend of historical intrigue and collector appeal. From double dies to transitional planchette errors, these anomalies demonstrate the complexity of the minting process and the enduring appeal of rare coins. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a new collector, 1969 error quarters provide a unique opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history. What if I told you that a single 1976 bicentennial quarter, the coin you may have used for a soda or dropped in a tip jar, could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. In this video, we'll uncover the rarest 1976 bicentennial quarter errors, how to identify them, and just how much these coins are worth today. So, stick around until the end, because you won't want to miss this. It's time to dig into your collection. Your fortune may be hiding in plain sight. A brief history of the 1976 bicentennial quarter. The bicentennial quarter was minted in 1975 and 1976 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence. Unlike standard quarters, these feature a unique reverse design by Jack Lahr, showcasing a colonial drummer with a torch encircled by 13 stars. The obverse still has George Washington's portrait, but with the dual date 1776 to 1976. These quarters were minted in three types: copper-nickel-clad P and D mints, circulated widely. 40% silver-clad S mint, special collector's edition. Proof versions, premium collector's pieces. While millions were minted, certain rare errors and special varieties have skyrocketed in value, making them highly desirable among collectors. Top 1976 bicentennial quarter errors worth big money. Double die obverse DDO, $1,000 to $5,000 plus. One of the most valuable errors on a bicentennial quarter is the double die obverse DDO. This happens when the coin's die shifts slightly during minting, causing noticeable doubling on letters, numbers, or even Washington's profile. The stronger the doubling, the higher the value. Some well-preserved DDO quarters have sold for upwards of $5,000 at auctions. Off-center strikes, $500 to $10,000 plus. Off-center error coins are always a collector's favorite, and the 1976 bicentennial quarter is no exception. If the planchette blank coin was not aligned correctly during striking, it results in a misaligned design. A 50% or more off-center strike with visible date and design details can bring in thousands of dollars. Auction prices, some extreme off-center examples have fetched over $10,000. 40% silver planchette error, $3,000 to $15,000 plus. Most bicentennial quarters were struck in copper-nickel, but a rare few were mistakenly minted on 40% silver plankets intended for special collector sets. Sound test. Silver coins produce a higher pitched ring when tapped compared to regular quarters. Some of these rare silver planchette errors have sold for up to $15,000. Missing clad layer, $1,000 to $8,000 plus. Another stunning error is the missing clad layer, which occurs when the outer nickel layer is not applied correctly, exposing the inner copper core. These coins, especially in high grades, can sell for upwards of $8,000. Overstruck or double-struck errors, $5,000 to $25,000 plus. What if I told you that a simple 1979 D Washington quarter in your pocket change could be worth between $1,000 and a jaw-dropping $10,000 or more? Yes, you heard that right. Some rare error coins from 1979 have fetched thousands of dollars at auctions, leaving collectors and numismatists stunned. In this video, we're diving deep into the incredible world of the 1979 D Washington quarter errors, what makes them valuable, the history behind them, and how you can spot one that might make you rich. Stay until the end, because you don't want to miss the details that could turn a simple quarter into a life-changing payday. History of the 1979 D Washington quarter. The 1979 Washington quarter was minted in large numbers, but the ones with rare errors are what drive collectors crazy. The Denver Mint D mint mark produced millions of quarters, but due to the sheer volume, errors slipped through the cracks. Some of these mistakes resulted in extremely valuable and sought-after coins today. Designed by John Flanagan, the Washington quarter had already been a staple in American coinage since 1932. The 1979 version still featured George Washington's profile on the obverse and the majestic bald eagle on the reverse. However, During the minting process, certain errors occurred, making some of these coins worth a small fortune. Types of rare 1979D error quarters. Several varieties of errors exist on the 1979D Washington quarter, and each has the potential to be worth thousands of dollars. Let's explore some of the most valuable errors you need to look out for. Double die obverse DDO. Value. A strong DDO example can fetch between $1,000 and $5,000, depending on the condition. Double die reverse DDR. Value. High-grade examples have been known to sell for $2,000 to $6,000 at auctions. Off-center strikes. Value. The more off-center, the higher the value. Some extreme off-center quarters have sold for over $3,000. Clipped planchette. Value. Depending on the severity, these can range from $500 to $2,000 in value. Missing clad layer. The Washington quarter is composed of a copper-nickel clad. However, some 1979D quarters were struck missing one layer, exposing the copper core. Value. A missing clad layer coin in high grade can sell for $2,500 to $10,000 or more. Auction records and big sales. A 1979D Washington quarter with a strong DDO recently sold for over $7,500 at auction. An off-center error in MS grade condition went for $3,200. A missing clad layer quarter, in near perfect condition, fetched a staggering $10,000 plus. Final thoughts? Check your quarters now. With millions of Washington quarters in circulation, you never know what treasure you might have in your hands. If you find one of these rare 1979D error quarters, it could be a ticket to a massive payday. Check your change, examine your old collections, and start hunting for these rare gems. We're diving into one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in the world of rare coins, the 1981P era Washington quarter. If you've got one of these tucked away in your pocket change, you could be sitting on a gold mine worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. The history of the 1981P Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin was initially meant to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, but it quickly became a staple of American currency. But what makes some of these 1981P quarters worth astronomical amounts? It's all about the errors. The rarest 1981P quarter errors that could make you rich. 1. 1981P double die obverse DDO error. One of the most sought-after errors in any coin series is the double die. In 1981, a handful of Washington quarters were struck with a doubling effect on the obverse front of the coin. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between strikes, creating a noticeable doubling effect. A DDO error can fetch anywhere from $500 to $10,000 depending on condition. 2. Off-center strikes. The more extreme, the higher the value. An off-center strike happens when the coin blank is misaligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing. Value. Minor off-center errors 5 to 10% can sell for $100 $500. More dramatic off-center strikes 40 to 60% off can bring in $5,000 or more. 3. No mint mark error. A hidden jackpot. While the 1981P quarter is expected to have a P mint mark, there have been reports of coins missing this crucial identifier. A missing mint mark could mean a rare striking anomaly. Value. These coins, if verified, could fetch anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 plus. 4. Clipped planchette error. Sometimes, when the metal sheet used to create coins is missed into the press, part of the coin gets clipped off. These rare errors are fascinating to collectors. Value. Clipped planchette errors have been known to sell for $1,000 to $8,000. 5. Broad strike error. A coin with no borders. A broad strike error happens when the quarter is struck outside the collar die, causing it to spread out and lose its ridged edge. Value. Depending on the degree of the error, these can sell for $3,000 to $15,000. Rare error coins do best at auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. You can also list them on eBay or consult a professional numismatist. Final words. Could you be holding a $100,000 quarter? There you have it, folks. The 1981 P-era Washington quarter isn't just another coin in your change. It could be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. With values ranging from hundreds to hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's time to start checking your coins. The 1982 P-era Washington quarter. If you've got one of these tucked away in your pocket change, you could be sitting on a gold mine worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just any quarter, this is a game changer, a collector's dream. The history of the 1982 P Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin was initially meant to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, but it quickly became a staple of American currency. But what makes some of these 1982 P quarters worth astronomical amounts? It's all about the errors. The rarest 1982 P quarter errors that could make you rich. 1982 P double die obverse DDO error. One of the most sought-after errors in any coin series is the double die. In 1982, a handful of Washington quarters were struck with a doubling effect on the obverse front of the coin. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between strikes, creating a noticeable doubling effect. Value. But a DDO error can fetch anywhere from $500 to $10,000 depending on condition. 2. Off-center strikes. The more extreme, the higher the value. An off-center strike happens when the coin blank is misaligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing. Value. Minor off-center errors 5 to 10% can sell for $100, $500. More dramatic off-center strikes 40 to 60% off can bring in $5,000 or more. 3. No mint mark error. A hidden jackpot. While the 1982 P quarter was not supposed to have a mint mark, some coins show anomalies where the absence of the mint mark is due to an error rather than the official minting process. Value. These coins, if verified, could fetch anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 plus. 4. Clipped planchette error. Sometimes, when the metal sheet used to create coins is missed into the press, part of the coin gets clipped off. These rare errors are fascinating to collectors. Value. Clipped planchette errors have been known to sell for $1,000 to $8,000. 5. Broad strike error. A coin with no borders. A broad strike error happens when the quarter is struck outside the color die, causing it to spread out and lose its ridged edge. Value. Depending on the degree of the error, these can sell for $3,000 to $15,000. How to identify and sell your 1982 P error quarter. Now that you know about these valuable errors, how can you cash in if you think you found one? Final words. Could you be holding a $100,000 quarter? There you have it, folks. The 1982 P-era Washington quarter isn't just another coin in your change. It could be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. With values ranging from hundreds to hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's time to start checking your coins. The 1983 P-era Washington quarter. If you've got one of these tucked away in your pocket change, you could be sitting on a gold mine worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just any quarter, this is a game changer, a collector's dream. The history of the 1983 P Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin was initially meant to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, but it quickly became a staple of American currency. By 1983, the U.S. Mint faced challenges due to high production demands, which led to quality control issues. This year is famous among collectors because there were no official mint sets produced, making high-quality 1983 quarters difficult to find. Additionally, various striking errors occurred, turning some of these coins into highly valuable collector's items. But what makes some of these 1983 P quarters worth astronomical amounts? It's all about the errors. The rarest 1983 P quarter errors that could make you rich. 1983 P double die obverse DDO error. One of the most sought-after errors in any coin series is the double die. In 1983, a handful of Washington quarters were struck with a doubling effect on the obverse front of the coin. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between strikes, creating a noticeable doubling effect. Value: a standard 1983p quarter is only worth 25 cents. But a DDO error can fetch anywhere from $500 to $10,000 depending on condition. 2. Off-center strikes. The more extreme, the higher the value. An off-center strike happens when the coin blank is misaligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing. Value: minor off-center errors 5 to 10% can sell for $100 $500. More dramatic off-center strikes 40 to 60% off can bring in $5,000 or more. 3. No mint mark error. A hidden jackpot. While the 1983p quarter was not supposed to have a mint mark, some coins show anomalies where the absence of the mint mark is due to an error rather than the official minting process. Value: these coins, if verified, could fetch anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 plus. 4. Clipped planchette error. Sometimes, when the metal sheet used to create coins is missed into the press, part of the coin gets clipped off. These rare errors are fascinating to collectors. Value: clipped planchette errors have been known to sell for $1,000 to $8,000. 5. Broad strike error. A coin with no borders. A broad strike error happens when the quarter is struck outside the color die, causing it to spread out and lose its ridged edge. Value: depending on the degree of the error, these can sell for $3,000 to $15,000.